With the Celtics, I understand that they won, right? I understand that the Celtics won last night and the streak didn't end with them. I also understand that they do have the best record in the league. So I'm not overreacting. I still think this is a great team. I still think this team has NBA Finals potential. I still got them coming out the East. But this is a team with championship winning expectations. Not just making it to the dance, winning the dance. It is important to understand that when I say what I say about this team, it is coming from that lens. Same thing when I talk about the Phoenix Suns. I'm not saying the Suns are an ass team. It is coming from the lens that they have put on a roster with championship winning expectations. So when I critique these teams, it's coming from that lens. And this Celtics team, as great as it is looking, because they do have a top 5 defense, top 5 offense in the league, I'm scared. I'm scared for this team. And maybe that is just trauma built up as a Celtics fan, because last night was just the epitome of a Celtics game being watched by a Celtics fan. This team never fails to stress their fans. Never fails. We talked about it when I watched the Dom 2K video. Last year's playoff run was the most stressful playoff run I've ever watched as a Celtics fan. The most. Shouldn't have gone to 6 against Atlanta. Shouldn't have gone to 7 against Philly. And Game 6 was stressful as shit. Game 7 is Game 7. Miami, we were trying to come back from 3-0. So that's 4 straight elimination games up until Game 7. And Game 7 is Game 7. And those first 3 games were stressful as fuck too, because it's the Miami Heat, right? And then, going into this game, my mind was telling me Boston got it. My mind was telling me, yo, I'm overthinking it, man. I'm just overthinking it. Celtics are the best team in the league. Pistons are on a 28-game winning streak. This is going to be easy pickings. We're going to win by 20. And what I think is going to happen is not going to happen. Newsflash, what my heart was telling me was going to happen actually happened. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't see us losing this game. Let's get it. Shout to Rage for the prime sub, man, for the 3 months. I didn't see us losing this game, but I did see the game being much closer than it needed to be. I didn't see a 20-point comeback, OT thriller type of game, but I thought this was going to be a back and forth game for a majority of the game, and it was going to come down to the last minute on who was going to win. I thought it was going to be one of those games. It ended up being worse than that. Luckily, we still ended with the win. But this team, as great as it is, as constructed right now, looking at the landscape of the league right now, I do still have this team making it to the finals, but I don't have this team winning the finals. Let me talk about the weaknesses of this team that I think they can get over, but are weaknesses to this team. Number 1 is rebounding. Number 2, and this kind of coincides with rebounding, is a lack of big man depth. When Kristaps Porzingis, a injury-prone player, is out, and he has missed a decent amount of games this year too. He hasn't been fully healthy. He's played a decent amount of games as well. I'm not going to act like he's been out the whole season. When Kristaps Porzingis is out and Al Horford is running that 5 and Tatum is manning that 4 and we're running Luke Cornett off the bench, we're running Neemias Queta off the bench, rim protection is looking sus as fuck. And again, we're relying on Luke Cornett to be, and 50-year-old Al Horford out there to be the primary shot blocker, rim protector of the team. That is scary to me. Also, when Porzingis is out, and we saw this against the Warriors, the team reverts back to just Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum ISOs. Kick out to the open man of the defense collapses, and they become really easy to guard. When Porzingis is out. As we saw last night, Porzingis adds this level of depth to the offense that I really like, I really appreciated, and I was really high on when we made the trade. Specifically in moments like last night, when the game slows down, when the offense gets stagnant, and Jason Tatum don't got it, Last night didn't have Jaylen Brown. What is that third option on offense that we can go to? And for the last couple of years, it has been what? Derek White and Marcus Smart trying to make something happen. Respect to those dudes. But Porzingis, mid ISOs, Porzingis pick and pops is a much better option than just giving it to Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, and Derek White and seeing what the fuck happens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think, not to say that he's the most important player, but Porzingis' health is really concerning to me. And he needs to be healthy in the playoffs. He needs to be healthy in the fucking playoffs. I don't know what to tell you. On top of that, depth is an issue as well. Depth is an issue as well. For everything that I just said, when one of the big six is out, I'm going to call them a big six, but that core six is out, even if you want to include Sam Hauser in that rotation now, like, when the rotation moves up and is rebuilt, now we got to play O'Shea Brissett like 20 minutes. Now we got to play, Luke Cornett 25 minutes. And the rotation just looks ass. It just looks ass. Right now, we still need a little bit more depth. I know Chad has been saying an Andre Drummond type. If we can just get an Andre Drummond type, or a big man that can block shots, like a Bismack Biyombo type of player, I think that would be fantastic off the bench. If we can get more wing depth off the bench too, that would be nice. Because Sam Hauser's a sharpshooter. He's a Duncan Robinson type. But if we can get a guy off the bench that can put the ball on the floor, run in transition, that would be fantastic. But I feel like at that point, I'm asking for too much. What I really think is going to hold this team back from winning the finals, as Mickey as it sounds, is Jason Tatum. It's Jason Tatum. And this is not coming from a place of hate, because y'all know I love JT. A lot of people call me the biggest Jason Tatum dick rider at this point. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to say that Jason Tatum is not having a great season. Good season, right? He's still putting up 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, half a block a game. 47% from the field is not bad. 34% from 3. That's what we'll get into. And 80% from the free throw line, getting to the line 7 times a game. I mean, that's decent. But I have this theory about teams. And shout out to Tiny Moses. Yo, Souls, I gotta go. Might be back later. But if not, enjoy the time off and see y'all next year. Appreciate you. Shout out to Pirates as well for the first time, chat. But I have this theory about championship winning teams that you need a top 5 player to win the ring, to win it all. And I think it's important when I say that, to win it, to close it off. Because we can point to the last couple of years and point to teams being led by certain players who made it to the finals, but didn't win, right? And when you look at those teams, and when you look at the teams that did win, the common denominator for me, historically speaking as well, is a team that won it got that guy. They got that guy. So let's look at the past NBA Finals matchups by year, right? Let's look at the matchups by year. Boom. Let's look at last year. Denver Nuggets led by Jokic. Miami Heat led by Jimmy Butler. Again, Jimmy Butler is a great player. He's not top 5 though. Jokic, best in the world conversations, MVP conversations, best player in the playoffs conversations, all-time great. Nikola Jokic gets it done. When the Celtics made it, Jason Tatum, great player. Celtics, great team, all-around team. The Golden State Warriors had Steph Curry, top 10 player of all time, arguably the greatest point guard of all time. Boom. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, great player. Chris Paul, great player that year. Monty Williams, great coach that year. Arguably still, but that's a whole nother discussion, right? The Milwaukee Bucks, though, had Giannis. Arguably the best player that year. Arguably a top 15 player of all time. Going back to 2020, same thing. Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat, Lakers, LeBron and AD. Right? 2019, 2018, 17, 16, and 15. These were matchups that, regardless of who won, you know what I'm saying, there was going to be a top 5 winner. So I'll call that a wash. 2014, though. 2014, I will give you guys this. There is no top 5 player on that Spurs team, right? There is no, like, Tim Duncan was not top 5 that year. Kawhi Leonard was just on the come up, right? So, fine. Give you San Antonio. 2013, LeBron. 2012, LeBron. 2011, Dirk. 2010, Kobe. 2009, Kobe. 2008, KG. 2007, Tim Duncan. 2006, D. Wade. 2005, Tim Duncan. 04, y'all got me. 04, y'all got me. 03, Tim Duncan. 2002 to 2000, Shaquille O'Neal. 1999, Tim Duncan. Jordan, Hakeem, Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, y'all got me. Y'all got me. All right. And I would even need to check what the rankings were back then. But off rip, I don't think Isaiah Thomas was top 5 in these back-to-back years. But even then, I don't know if y'all know about the conspiracy, or not conspiracy, but the controversy in, I believe, the 1989 finals. Or one of these finals. Like, was it? Which one was it? Like, there's one of these finals where, like, Isaiah Thomas legitimately believed that the Pistons could have three-peated. I think it was this one, actually. Yeah, it was this one. Okay, that actually doesn't prove my point. Regardless, that's fine. So, Detroit Pistons, outlier. We're talking about Magic, Bird, Moses Malone, Kareem, I think in 85 too. Kareem, Bird, Magic, Kareem, Lenny Wilkins, y'all got me. Not Lenny Wilkins. The Supersonics, y'all got me. I think they were led by Dennis Johnson. The Bullets, like, y'all got me in the 70s. I ain't gonna lie. But even in the 70s, I would argue the same sentiment still stands. And then we know about the 60s. You know what I'm saying? We know about the 60s. Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Bob Pettit. But historically speaking, we're talking about once every decade, right? Pez said in chat. We're talking about once every decade a team is capable of winning without a top 5 caliber player. And maybe this year is the outlier. Maybe the Celtics are the outlier. But that's such a... I wouldn't want to make the case on... I mean, historically speaking, only 4 teams have done this, and the Celtics are that team because of vibes. Like, I don't want to make that case. But looking at the Celtics roster, again, arguably the most stacked starting 5 in the league. The most talented team in the league when you average everything out. But the dude leading them, I don't know if he is going to be playing at the level he's playing at right now in the playoffs, if that is going to be enough to get it done. I don't know if 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists is going to get the job done at this efficiency, because I think his efficiency is at 60% true shooting. And if you look at that top 5 player, because at this point, it's not even like, it'd be one thing if Jason Tatum was playing at a top 5 caliber pace, right? Because I'm not so strict on, okay, you're the 6th best player in the league, you can't get the job done. But if you're a 6th debatable 5, okay, you still got it. You still meet my criteria. But if we name the top 5 players in the league, I legitimately think there's a gap between those players and the play Jason Tatum is playing at right now. And I'm going to name those players right now. Luka, Giannis. Let me move the alerts. Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid. I'm going to say Embiid is in that category. I understand he has his playoff woes, but at some point, regular season got to carry. Embiid is having a crazy season. Embiid and AD? SGA? I feel like I'm blanking on the name right now, though. Oh, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Okay, let me rename it. Because I definitely blanked on KD and Steph Curry. I don't know. Let me read it. Jesus Christ, let me rename it. All right. Jokic. 2. Giannis. 3. Curry. 4. Luka. 5.
Let's get it. Hop off a 16 passenger. This is G5. No, this not a challenger.
Shout out to El Toro for the prime sub. 680. Oh, I keep on forgetting KD's name, bro. Well, I'll keep Embiid right there. Embiid 6. KD. Okay. So let's just stick with these names, because I think after these names is where I get shaky. I'm gonna be honest, I got shaky on Embiid, but nevertheless. And maybe top 5 is too much of an arbitrary criteria. I think what I really mean is a tier 1 player. That's really what I mean. You need a tier 1 player playing at a tier 1 level to win a championship. So even if we name 7 dudes, even if we name 4 dudes, because I legitimately think there's even a gap between these 4 and boom, right? Right. Even if we want to put SGA in there, even if we want to put LeBron in there, even if we want to put Tatum in there, right? Tatum. Right. There's still a gap between this and this. And historically speaking, again, top 5 is probably the arbitrary, like the wrong phrasing for what I just said. But I legitimately believe you need a tier 1 player playing at a tier 1 level to win a championship, historically speaking. And I'm looking at Jason Tatum right now. And 27, 8, and 4 on good defense, 47, 34, 81 is not tier 1 level of play. Because I would even expect, with the offensive weapons that they have and with the looks that he's getting, that he would be way more efficient than this. Way more efficient. I'm sorry. Like, in a vacuum, this is actually pretty decent, 47, 34, 81. But with the looks that he's getting, he should be way more efficient. I'm sorry. This should be closer to 52. This should be closer to 40. This should be closer to 86. You know what I'm saying? And if Tatum was averaging 27, 8, and 4 on 52, 39, 85, I wouldn't be having these conversations. I wouldn't. But what we're seeing right now is Tatum being extremely inconsistent. Tatum settling for long threes when he has the capability of attacking the rim, when he has the build and the handles to attack the rim effectively, when he has the playmaking chops, in my opinion. I think the 4 assists doesn't even do his playmaking justice. When he has the playmaking chops, in my opinion, to average 6 to 7 assists a game, if he really just focused on it. But whenever I watch him play, he wants to play like Kobe. I'm sorry. I can't. There's a certain point where I cannot deny the fucking allegations. Jason Tatum is trying to play like Kobe. Jason Tatum is trying to play like KD. Jason Tatum is trying to play like Paul George. Because he's a bucket. That's what he's been known for, a bucket. But I think he needs to realize that the skill set and the frame that he got right now, not to minimize those players, but the best utilization of his attributes, in my opinion, is not being a Kobe type of player. To me, it's being a LeBron type of player. Knock these down from 9 threes a game to 5. All right, 5 to 6. I'll take 5 to 6 threes from Tatum. I don't want you to not shoot threes. Knock this down to 5 to 6, right? I need you to attack the rim more with intention and not just on some foul baiting shit. I need you to be better at the line. I need you to continue being more dominant. I need you to continue being great on defense. I like the rebounding. I really do like the 8 rebounds game. People don't talk about it, but from non-centers in the league, he's probably the best rebounder out there. Unless I'm tripping. Unless you want to count like Russell Westbrook or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I like the 8 rebounds. I would like to see you post up. I would like to see you be more physical. I would like to see you run transition more. These are the things I would like to see from Jason Tatum, and these are the things that I think would take him to the next level. If not that, if that is too much to change your game for, which is fine. Literally, just work on your shooting, dog. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bruh. Cause we were. I wish I could play it right now, cause I do want to clip this up. So I could play it right now, but I can't type shit. But we were watching his field goal attempts last night, and I keep an eye on Jason Tatum's field goal attempts as well. Like, I watch them, and a lot of them are just missed shots, right? A lot of them are just they're open shots, but he just misses them. And it's gotten to a point where it's like there's two realizations we can come to at this point. Number one, he's just missing them, or number two, the defenses are letting him take these shots because he just isn't that great of a three-point shooter. And historically speaking, specifically over the last 3 years, I would just point to the defenses I can't get the fucking sentence out for some reason. For the last 3 years, I would just point to, yeah, the defenses are just letting him shoot the threes because he's really not that good from the three at this point. This is not 2021 Jason Tatum anymore. Putting up 39% from the line, from three, excuse me. This is not 2020 Jason Tatum anymore, shooting 40% from three on 7 attempts. This is not rookie Tatum anymore, shooting 43% from three. We're looking at a volume scorer taking threes at 9 to 10 threes a game, and he's shooting them at a low clip. He's shooting them at a low clip. I need to, what is Basketball Reference? League averages, right? Let's look at league averages. League average from three is 37%. League average from three is 37%, y'all. I would like to narrow this down on what the averages are from people, from players who shoot, I don't know, 6 3-point attempts per game. But long story short, there are definitely a lot of players in the league who are shooting 8 to 9 threes a game. And I cannot name 5 players off the top of my head that are shooting 8 to 9 threes a game, but shooting less than 38% from three. Or shooting at this clip, if we want to be more specific. Because you might name a dude taking 8 threes a game, shooting 37%, right? But, like, how many players are shooting 9 threes a game, shooting 7 threes a game on 35%. I don't know. I don't know who those players are. So my solution is just, stop taking the threes. Like, that's my solution. Stop taking the fucking threes. Instead of improving, just stop taking them. Like, I think at this point, this is what, year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are getting to Russell Westbrook territory of, okay, instead of asking Russell Westbrook to shoot better from three, instead of asking Russell Westbrook to, be a better passer, we just got to accept what he is and work around it and work around those tendencies, right? Like, at some point, we can't expect, hey, Russ, just shoot better. Let's get that up to 40%. You're shooting 5 threes a game. Let's get up to 40%. Like, keep shooting at the rate you are. Let's just get that percentage up. At some point, all right, Russ just isn't improving from the three-point line from an efficiency perspective. Instead of trying to raise the efficiency up, okay, stuck at 34, let's just lower the attempts. Bro said, talk to Joe about that. Listen, man, Shout out to Joe. I do think he's a good coach, but from the interviews I've seen, he can still be stubborn about his ways. And I think that's a lot of coaches too. I think a lot of coaches have philosophies that they want to stick to. A lot of coaches believe consistency is key, which, there is some truth to that. But yeah, Joe loves that 3 ball.